Hello, welcome to tapping into my video. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Kelly Musart, and I do have my own business called BeMyself.org that is in the description. And basically, what I do is I help people through their pain and trauma, and by actually going through the emotions instead of ignoring them, going over them, and so forth. Okay. But thank you for tapping on this video or watching this video. If you like this video, there will be more to come. This is one of the things I'm supposed to do as my leadership role is I am supposed to help people heal and feel good. And I have done this in the past 1 year for my life, and I have now know how simple life really is. So, with that being said, I talk to my guides and my angels every day. So, one of the things that they wanted to come and talk about was relationships. And of course, remembering that Valentine's Day is a few days away, it kind of makes sense there will be a lot of people wondering about their relationships. So, this is also if you're not in a relationship, this can also help you. So, the title of this, if I can remember what we named it, was Your Relationship's Not Good, and then Watch This for Help, something like that. Um, so, I'm going to just give you some things that no one really talks about. Okay. On relationships, we have this fantasy, and the fantasy is it's kind of like the hallmarked, right? That meet your one and only, that twin flame, your soulmate, the one person that you will spend the rest of your life with. And it kind of keeps us in really not healthy relationships for a lot of fear reasons. But I'm telling you right now, this is something that's not talked about, but this is something that is really real, okay? When it comes to relationships, there are soulmates. Yes, every relationship you've had, it's a soulmate connection. It's a soul contract with that person's soul that you guys are supposed to come here and do this, to have this relationship. But somewhere we get lost in the muck and we think that every relationship's supposed to be the one, the only, the forever. Well, forever isn't really a word. If you stop and think about forever, that's not even possible. Why? Because we all die. So forever isn't even a possibility. And then there's the twin flames. And me myself, I've actually been on my healing journey for about 8 to 9 years, but last year is when I started figuring everything out. Okay, so twin flames. If you go and research twin flames, you will probably find that there's one person in this whole billion of people that is your twin flame that you're supposed to search for, and you won't feel complete until you find that person. That is so false. That is not even funny. All that does is make you feel incomplete and make you feel that if you find someone, they will complete you. I'm telling you right now, nobody completes you. You complete you. You complete you. So if you're single, you're probably looking for a relationship, right? And then most of the time when we're on in a relationship, within about a couple months, maybe a year, it's not as great as it was once was when it first started. And then you kind of want to be single. Why is that? Well, because we always desire what we don't have. So if you're single, you would desire a relationship. If you're in a relationship, a part of you would desire to be free, right? To be alone for a little bit. All of those are normal emotions to have. There's nothing wrong with that. All that's going on is all these conditions that we've been conditioned to believe. We've been conditioned to believe to get into a relationship and make that work no matter what. No, you're in a relationship, it's just as well as you're in it until you're not meant to. And it's that simple. Going back to twin flames, there is not just one twin flame for each person. You actually have a collective, right, of soulmates. They're called romantic soulmate tribe. And there's hundreds of people in that group with you. This is something that people don't realize. It's something I'm supposed to start teaching people about. And then what that does, it kind of puts it all in perspective for you. It kind of puts it all in, oh, okay. So if this doesn't work, there's always going to be someone else. Yes. But the whole thing here is that if you're seeking anything from another person, that means you're lacking it in yourself. And because we're not taught to love ourselves, we're actually taught not to focus on ourselves. We're taught never, I mean, because some people would say it's selfish to focus on yourself. And I'm telling you, it isn't. Once for all you single ladies, men, whoever's watching this, once you love yourself from the inside, truly go in and heal the pain that you have, where it feels that you're never going to find someone, right? Heal that. And then you won't want a relationship. And then the person will appear. Now, even if your relationship's going really well and you just decided to watch my video, I thank you for watching my video. Relationships will have its up and flows, its up and downs, right? Ebb and flow, up and down. You're going to have ups, you're going to have down. Why is that? Because every day we're constantly changing. Changing is the only thing constant in everyone's life, is that we constantly change. So if you stop and think about this one and only, right? One and only completes you. And if you think that comes from another person and not inside yourself, so basically, what you are saying is that you're going to feel lack of love. You're going to feel sadness and alone until you find that person to feel something inside you that they can never feel. With constant change, that means that you guys will meet on the same energy level, right? And then you guys are going to go through changes. Some of you will go through changes together. Your shift, he shift, or he shift, you shift, right? Some of you will do that. And you're going to do exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't do it wrong. So then you guys are meant to go through the same shift, right? So what if you have a really good relationship, but there's just something inside you that's like, I don't know what this is, but it doesn't feel right. Something feels off. You can be in a really great relationship and have that feeling of there's something just quite not right. Not every relationship has to end with hatred, anger, bitterness. That doesn't make a relationship end. You can be perfectly healthy in the relationship, but you both just grow apart. And there's no one's fault here. No one is to blame. There's nothing wrong with anybody in the universe. Not a single person. There's no wrong, there's no right. There's no what did you do? What's wrong with you? You know, why can I not keep a guy or a girl? Blah, blah, blah. Fill in the blank. None of that. No. That is just self sabotaging. And that is showing your core of what you really believe for yourself, right? So think about this. If you don't love yourself, how are you going to expect someone to come in and love you if you don't love yourself? They can't. you will match the person perfectly, which means that if you came where you feel abandonment, your partner's going to match that perfectly. It's more like, instead of the whole hallmarks that you complete me, it's more like, I have a hole, you have a hole, let's fill it together and see how this works, right? The ideal is the hole never gets filled, because you have to literally go in and see where that pain is, see where those fears are coming from, and follow that. So if you're someone who's constantly dating and you're constantly more like, you can't keep someone and you keep asking like, what am I doing wrong? What's going on? Nothing. All that's going on is you're in your path. You're doing exactly what you're supposed to do. And I want to talk about people in abusive relationships. So if that's you and you're in an abusive relationship and it's not like your first one, or it could be your first one, again, you were supposed to go through this. And normally it's whatever we go through that we see as a challenge, it actually helps us grow and we get our power back in situations. I've been through a lot of different, every type of abuse I've been through. And every type I went to something, I got something out of it. Even if it was confidence, even if it was, hey, do this life on your own, you don't need to trust it, anything like that. It actually built who I was. So, if you are in an abusive relationships are not ever going to go away. The thing is, you are supposed to go through that. When you leave is when you're supposed to leave. And I know a lot of people that have been in abusive relationships and they stay, and then once they go, they always beat themselves up going, why didn't I leave sooner? What's wrong with me? Oh my god, I'm so stupid, I should have saw the signs, and all that. We're just constantly beating the shit out of ourselves. We don't need someone else to do it, we do it ourselves in our minds every day. Not just about relationships, everything. If you stop and think about how you think and how many things that comes in your mind that puts yourself down in one day, you would be shocked of like, wow, it's so much. So, emotional abuser, we all are to ourselves every day. I was to myself until literally last year. And then I started seeing what I was saying to myself, my thoughts towards myself. Now, that doesn't mean that this whole life from now forward that I'm never going to have that. No, 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 no. This isn't that you heal and then you don't ever go through anything. No. And here's the reason. If that happened, you would be bored out of your mind. If you had the perfect relationship, you would actually get bored with it. I guarantee you. It might be 6 months, it might be a year, it might be 5 years, but eventually you would get bored with that relationship and how perfect it is. You would be wanting something to go. And that's the truth. We all sit here and say, you know what? I wish this was better. I wish this was this way. I wish this was this way. No, you don't. Because if you actually stop and think about what you're wishing for, you will realize that within a little bit of time, you would be bored, right? So, do you realize that some of you are in relationships, but yet you feel alone, right? You're dating, you're married, whatever, but you feel that you're alone. Why is that? Why is people can be in relationships and yet feel more alone than someone who isn't in a relationship? That's because of what is going on inside you. A lot of people stay in relationships because of fear that, well, it could be way worse. But biggest fear that's out there right now is, oh my God, I would be alone forever. And here's the truth on that statement. We're never alone. We always have guides and our own angels that's around us 24/7. Out of billions of people on this planet, If you believe that you're going to be alone for the rest of your life, that's kind of hard pill to swallow. It really is. If you stop thinking of billions of people on this planet, you're going to be alone the rest of your life. No. But the thing is, when you're making that statement in your head, I'm going to be alone the rest of my life. What's wrong with me? That's what you got to work on. Why do you feel that there's something wrong with you? Why do you feel that you're going to be alone for the rest of your life? How are you really feeling? How does it make you feel? Because that is how we heal, guys. Guys, gals, anyone. Is that we have to go in deeper to our own fears and bring them up and really focus on them so that we can shift them. So, one of the biggest things that happen, right? And I'm sure most of you can relate, is that you get into a relationship. Once a relationship ends, how quickly do you get into another one? Have you ever stopped and wonder why we're so quickly to jump onto another partner? Because we're afraid of being by ourselves, right? Because if we're by ourselves, perhaps we're afraid that we don't really like ourselves and we sure hell don't love ourselves. So jump onto the next person, hoping that they can give us something we can't give ourselves. So there's nothing wrong with anyone. Whatever relationship you are in, you're meant to be in it. Single, that's a relationship with yourself. Married, soon to be not married, in a new relationship, been in a relationship, whatever you fall, just know, how are you treating yourself? Because my guides have always told me, because I ask, because relationship seems to be very complicated, right? It seems to be very embedded and very hard to comprehend relationships. So I asked them, how do you know when a relationship's over? And they told me, Kelly, relationships are over when every day it feels like a job. So if you're in a relationship where every day feels like a job, are you happy? Or do you have moments of happiness, right? You're not always going to be happy. Are you clinging on to the past when you first met that person? That first connection, that first interaction that you fell in love with them. Because if you're holding on to the past, what you have to realize is that's the past. It's not the present, and it might not be your future. But in this very moment, how do you feel about your relationship? How do you feel about yourself? Most of the time, we're so afraid to make moves. That's why we go to friends and we ask the friends, "Hey, what do you think? I think this is over." What that is that it gives away your power because you have a fear that you're going to make the wrong mistake. So you give your power away to that friend of like, "Here, I can't do this by myself. I can't figure this out. Please figure it out for me." That won't actually help you. What will help you is you going in deeper with your own thoughts and your own fears and asking yourself, what's going on here? And don't be afraid of the response. So, I'm trying to think of if anything else is coming through about the topic of relationships. I talked about how there's multiple twin flames and soulmates per one person. It's a whole group of people. So that was for everyone, but more likely it resonates with the ones that kind of feel like the relationship's over, but they're afraid that if they do this, they're not going to find another connection with someone else as deeply as this one. Let's see. We will give ourselves every lie that we need in our heads to make whatever fantasy we need. But here's what happens. As we make that fantasy up in our heads, the pain doesn't actually go away. We calm it, we shut it down, and then it comes back. And then it comes back. So if that's you, where you had an issue or a challenge, whatever you want to say, and it went away, and then it came back, and then it went away, then it came back again. What is that saying? That's saying that it's not something that you're healing, it's something you're avoiding. So I leave you all with this. No matter if you're single, in a relationship, ending, beginning, doesn't matter. You have to figure out who you are. We have been conditioned in marriage. I want to talk about marriage real quick. We have been conditioned in marriage that we have to share the same bed. We have to share the same space. We have to do all this stuff together. And I will tell you this, me and my partner, we don't vibe with that. Because most of the time, most marriages would actually keep going if they both had their own space. It's okay to sleep by yourself when you want to, and it's okay to sleep next to your partner when you want to. We were just been conditioned over and over through the centuries that this is what a healthy relationship is. There's no such thing as a healthy relationship, by the way. No such thing. They're just relationships. That's it. It's just a relationship. And instead of going, this is going to be my forever, this is my one and only, how about you say, this is my one and only for right now? And let go of that forever illusion in the head. Because forever doesn't exist. All right, guys, thanks for watching my video. My name is Kelly Musart, and I do have a website if you want to book a session with me, and if you're needing help with your relationship or something else, then my website's in the description. And I will be posting more videos and getting back into this YouTube. I actually took off almost a year because I was going through some major healing and shifts in my life to come back and start here. Okay. So I wish you all a happy Valentine's Day. Excuse me. Yeah, sorry. One last thing. No matter if you're in a relationship or if you're single, on Valentine's Day or before, whatever, go do something for yourself. No matter if you're in a relationship or not. Because you know what you desire and what you really want versus any partner. So, if you're someone who's like, he'll never or she'll never give me what I want, how about you go get it for yourself? And then you'll be happy. Like, oh, thank you. That's nice. And I got what I wanted as well. Because the only person that truly knows you is you. The only person you have to live with for the rest of your life is actually you. You're the one that has to go to sleep with yourself. You're the one that has to wake up and live in this body. Might as well start loving it, right? That's what I say. All right, guys. Take care. I will talk to you guys all later. Bye.